So guys, it's David here and it's currently day 200, no, 318. I hope you guys had a wonderful day and are doing better than yesterday. But the time is currently 4:24. I normally don't wake up this morning or this early. However, today I have two appointments I have to attend. One of them is with a licensing department because I want to try get my security license. Now, working at a supermarket is nice and all, but I do want to switch it up. However, because of my record, I am unsure if I can get a clearance for my security license. So that is why I'm going there today. And hopefully, I get the thumbs up so that I can start my security course and then bounce around at clubs. That is the ideal part time job, to be honest, in my opinion. But after that, I want to come back and really finish my second web page. Now, it has been a long time since I wrote any code. It has been a long time since I even opened my laptop to do anything great with myself. So there definitely is some fear and I guess some unfamiliarities that has built up over time and maybe a little bit of doubt in myself whether I can accomplish this or not. But honestly, guys, if I don't do anything, if I don't write any more code, then what's for certain is that I am gonna forget. And what's for sure is I will become worse. So when you're afraid of something, just know that yes, you may not be the best at it, or that you may not be truly competent yet, but just know if you don't do it today, you are going to lose more of your abilities. You're going to lose more of your competence. So the more fear you have, the only way to conquer that fear is to do something that you're afraid of. And I know that hopefully there's a better way to do this, but the truth be told, that is the really only way. You cannot get better if you don't do it at all. And just think about what you are losing today if you're not doing anything. Instead of trying to sweet talk your ass up to doing something, tell yourself, what am I going to miss out today? If I don't do this, what am I losing? And sometimes, instead of blowing smoke up your ass, which may sound nice and all, if you just be honest with yourself and think about what you are losing, it comes to realize that you are actually losing a lot if you don't take action today. And that, my friends, may just motivate you to do something today. Because the chances are, if you're not doing anything today, you already don't have much in life. And you don't want to lose more of it. Because if you lose more, then you certainly won't have anything around left within you. And that, well, isn't a great feeling. Because we are here to be the best person we can be. And by not doing anything with your life, we cannot become better than yesterday. And that isn't the purpose of self improvement. That definitely isn't the journey that we and I assist everyone in walking. That being said, I'm gonna go to the gym, have an amazing back session, come back, clean up, and head to my appointment. I'll see you guys this afternoon. So guys, the time is currently 2:02. And in a few minutes, I have my shift. But before I go, today had some good news and bad news. The bad news being I was not approved for my security license. My record still stayed with me, and I was judged upon that. However, the guy did say the best case scenario is that next year I come back and by law, he cannot use that against me because it was a juvenile record. However, I cannot wait till next year for this security license. It was just a temporary job opportunity that I thought really fit my situation. But if I couldn't get a security license and I can't become a bouncer for a part-time job, then that's fine. I'll find another way around this. But today's failure wasn't because I had a conviction, although it may be seemed. Today's failure was because I walked into that meeting unprepared. I walked into that meeting feeling like an absolute loser. And because of that, I convey the energy of someone that's untrustworthy. And that person was convincible. Like he wanted me to persuade him that I was somebody different, that I was not just another teenager who didn't know what he was doing and went down the wrong path in his teenager years, like an absolute idiot. He wanted me to persuade that I am different. But because I had no idea what to say, and because I came in there without no idea as to how to persuade, I came out of there defeated. I didn't get what I want, and quite frankly, he just used any other line he did on anyone else. And that's a simple no. So the situation and outcome could have been so different if I had just walked in with an idea, with a plan to persuade and convince that I am different, to sell myself, in the other words. However, I did not do that. I sat there, I listened, I answered his questions, I asked questions just like anyone else. So why in earth would that guy risk his position to benefit me? And this is why I didn't take that failure or I didn't take that rejection so personally, even though it may seem personally to some people, or I messed up in life and this guy won't give me the license because of my past. Like, you may think it's personal, but the truth is, it's not. You have to see things from his point of view. And people do want to be influenced. People do want to be persuaded and convinced otherwise. But that is up to you to do. If you fail to do that, then he or she is going to continue on with his judgment of you. So don't blame others on how they depict you as a person. Don't wish that people will just go by your way and then approve everything you want to do in life and satisfy your wants, because you have to understand that you are solely responsible for the outcome of your life. So if somebody rejects you, if somebody declines your request, just understand they didn't do that because of you, but because you failed to sell yourself. You failed to convince them of who you know yourself to be. And quite frankly, guys, if I conveyed how I see myself to him in articulated words, then the outcome could be so different. I would not have waited another year for this. It might have just went through no issues at all. But because I didn't go in there with a plan, because I went in there without an idea of what I want to say, and quite frankly, I didn't know what I was going to say, I came back defeated today. But that's okay. Because the good news is, I am going to focus more on doing what I know I am supposed to do in the first place. And that's to stay focused, write my projects, and write something, make something, code something that the world can use. And is to really stay close to my purpose in the first place, anyways. Yes, getting the security job may be nice, hanging around drunk girls and stuff, whatnot, it may be cool and stuff. Sure, it would be nice, but at the end of the day, that is not necessary. What is necessary is for me to continue on improving my craft in coding, writing projects, improving my projects, and eventually write the end project or the big vision I have been envisioning for so long, and then deliver that to the public. That is the end goal. So no matter what I do part-time to get there, to help me get there, does not matter. There are so many ways for one person to get to their goals. If one method fails, don't be distraught. Just know that that is not the end of the world. And yes, if I want to go back and persuade him, I certainly can. But is it really worth it? But like I said, it is not the end of the world, because my purpose was never to become a bouncer in the first place. I just thought it was a nice job, and honestly, guys, I can come back next year, and if that is still on my mind, then why not give it a shot then? Maybe then I'll be more articulate with my words. Maybe then I'll be more clear with my intentions. Maybe then I'll walk into his office with a plan and a preconceived notion, so that I could get what I want and satisfy both of us. Hopefully achieve a win-win situation. But the good news is, guys, the good news is, when I came back home today, I wanted to self-sabotage. Obviously, because it has become a habit, but I choose not to. And I sat here and I did some coding. I decided to just style my second web page. And although it was a bit difficult coming back into work because I have not done coding for so long, and I do feel a little bit slow as the momentum has worn off, but at the end, I am not incompetent. Matter of fact, I still have my abilities to do the coding. I still remember how to code. It is just that it has been a bit of a time that I need some time to reboot up to my maximum capacity or efficiency. So, all the fear and doubt that I was not good enough, all the fear and doubt that I forgot how to code was not true. It would have been true though if I continued on to distract myself, and over time, yes, I will forget how to code, I'll forget how to write websites and etc. But I am glad that I picked up my habit once again because this is the lifestyle I want to live. Because without doing this, then certainly I'll be distracted doing something unholy. Then certainly I'll be distracted in depression, in whatever. Because without working on your purpose, without working on something meaningful, life will get stuck. Life starts sucking. And that isn't a great place to be. So don't let distractions fool you. And yes, sometimes your urge may be high, sometimes the temptation may be too great for you to handle, but just know every single day that goes by without you working on something meaningful, your urge and temptations will never diminish. It will still be there and it will only get stronger as you repeatedly distract yourself, and that will consolidate. Your distractions, your bad behaviors will become a part of your identity. And when that happens, that life sucks. That's all I have to say. Life just sucks then. And you don't want to live that life because for the past week I have been, and although yes, it feels nice to quiet your inner dialogue, your inner chatter to shut that shit off, but really you're just avoiding what you are destined to do, and that is to achieve your full potential. And when you work towards that, life is no longer sad. Life stops sucking because you're working towards something. But that being said, I went on a little bit of a rant, about to miss my bus, so I'm gonna quickly get showered up, quickly dress up, and I'll see you guys tonight. But honestly, came back home today, did the right thing, stayed away from distractions, and pretty much followed my to-do list, which I'm very, very proud of myself for. And certainly today, if I keep up with what I said I was going to do, this is one sure way to build courage and self-confidence. And over time, matter of fact, in no time, if you just stay consistent in doing this, then life will become great again. But when that happens, don't take yourself for granted because that is the mistake I had made so many times over, which is the reason for my self sabotage. But I'll talk to you guys later tonight. See you then.
So guys, the time is currently 8:48 and I came back from my shift, but I also got a package when I came back, and that is because yesterday when I resisted myself from the distractions, resisted myself from going back into self-sabotage, I decided to reward myself and buy some stuff that I can use, the things that I need to make my life easier. So, God, I can't talk. Been a long day. So, I went ahead and bought an alarm clock. Now, I bought this alarm clock simply because every single day I wake up with my phone. Now, I'm not gonna go into the deep things about Bluetooth radiation and stuff because, quite frankly, I know little about it. What I do know is it does affect our sleep pattern. It does affect us to some degree. But what's most important is that when I wake up with my phone, what I notice is every time I open my phone, I have this sense of adrenaline rushing through my body, as if I want to just go through my phone to check all the messages and emails. So, in other words, it is a distraction. In other words, it does rob away my focus. So, getting an analog clock will reduce the distractions and, most importantly, reduce any radiation whatsoever. So definitely going to come in handy, and just having an alarm clock on my table too will allow me to keep track of time much easier than to always look at my laptop. It just makes sense, guys. And second of all, I got some gold coins. Now, the reason for me to buy some gold coins is because as I track my good behaviors, I want to make my progress visually represented. And by doing so, having these gold coins, it is as if I am rewarding myself with gold tokens. Now, doing this will be more effective than just ticking off a box saying that I have done 3 hours of work, which can become a bit tedious and boring over time. But having this visual representation of gold coins accumulating every single time you do some good things, I think that is going to help me psychologically better. Psychologically? Wow, you know what I mean, like mentally better. So these tools right here will definitely help me elevate my productivity because I just know already. And most importantly, I can feel it happening. So pretty damn excited with tomorrow as I will use these gadgets and dispose them into my arsenal. But most importantly, guys, you may be questioning, why would you reward yourself after you have self-sabotaged for so long? And honestly, I had thought the same before. Like, if I spend a whole week or 2 weeks just messing about, just squandering my time, I would not have the courage or nerve, for say, to buy gifts for myself. Like, the last thing I would want to do is to reward myself for bad behavior. But you have to understand, I am not rewarding myself for bad behavior. I am rewarding myself for picking myself back up. Now, although there may be hate built up, although there may be regret for the things I have done, heck, even you probably hate yourself to the guts for letting yourself slide and let distractions cover you. But the thing is, once you stand up, and that is a big step sometimes, once you pull yourself back up from defeat, you should reward yourself. And I know in the moment it is so difficult because you probably have all this hate and regret built up, but you have to do it. You have to do what's right. And by picking yourself back up from this place of lost and just distraction, you owe yourself a reward because that takes some guts. That takes some courage to say, no, I'm not going to live like crap anymore. To say, no, I'm going to face the uncomfortable. And although you may have a bad track record of messing up in the past and you only had done good one day, rewarding yourself will set you up for winning in life. Rewarding yourself when you make the transition and rewarding yourself when you make the right change, that is going to affect you internally, and that is going to set a standard for yourself to start to change now. Because you know that by doing the right thing every single day, that life will eventually reward you with something bigger. Every now and then, reward yourself with something that is going to add to your lifestyle and that is something meaningful to what you believe in. And by doing so, you are essentially rewarding yourself when the main reward is not due yet. So you don't lose momentum, you don't lose steam, and you don't think to yourself or wonder, why am I even doing this if I'm not getting compensated for it? Obviously, the best way to get compensated is to get paid. But the second best thing is to really take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Buy something you like, right? Buy something that's going to add value to your improvement journey. And by doing so, maybe you will go less harsh on yourself when the time gets hard. And by rewarding yourself, maybe you will look back less at your old lifestyle and be eager and excited with tomorrow's challenges, because you know by doing that, by completing the challenges, you may get a reward later down the line. And that really is all that matters. We are still human at the end of the day, and we can't ignore the fact that we like to be rewarded, that we like to be compensated for our work. Reward yourself when the time is due. Give yourself credit when credit is due. Don't treat yourself like an enemy. Treat yourself as if you really care about yourself. And doing that is much harder than just saying it, because sometimes we appreciate ourselves, but we don't do that often enough. We don't do that consistently, which is why we have doubt in ourselves, which is why we are discouraged or insecure. Remember, don't forget to appreciate why you're doing this. And most importantly, don't forget to appreciate yourself. But obviously, tonight has been great. No distractions, stayed positive, and most importantly, I didn't put my time to waste. I hope you guys had learned something from this, but if not, like always, I'll be here for you guys tomorrow. Until then, good night.